So David, a 4-3 defeat away to Macclesfield today, bit heartbreaking for the team today.
Yeah, proud of the players, proud of the performance they put in, the work rate, the effort. I thought we made a full-time team look absolutely ordinary. And let's be right, they're a full-time team. Whatever nonsense they come out with, whatever words they use, they're training 3 times a week, as much as I did when I played full-time. So the fitness maybe told a little bit at the end, the bench that they could bring on maybe told a little bit at the end. But our work rate, desire, and the quality of some of our football, there's a lot to be proud of, and a lot we need to take from today into the next few games.
We'll get on to a few other bits in a minute, but just to sort of your feelings towards the end of the game. 2 goals in injury time, the last one in the 97th out of 95th. You disappointed at the time added on today?
It was a huge eye when Banny scored. I didn't think we then defended a ball in very well. I thought actually the third and fourth goal for them, the ball was allowed us to put into the box too easily. We probably went a bit too deep to defend our box and let them put the quality in. The third one probably Berry's quality, dribbling, beat a couple of players, just opened us up. The second one we were definitely too deep on that. But it's going to happen when you come to places like this. It's a 7-minute injury time goal that wins it for them, out 5 added on. The referee said sorry to me when we asked him where the time had come from. I thought the referee was excellent. I thought he refereed the game really, really well. But I'm fed up with referees apologising for after games. It's not good enough. Something as simple as timekeeping, and they can't explain it. That's the frustrating thing. You put your bodies on the line, you play as well as that, and to concede that, it's absolutely gutting.
3 really clinical goals as well today. Really well taken goals. You've got to be proud of how we've attacked and took those goals today.
Yeah, and I've said all through the week, this isn't a free hit, this is a rival. This is a rival to go up in this league, and we're going to go toe to toe with them. And I did, and speaking to a couple of their staff after the game, very much they thought we deserved to win the game. Thought we were the best side who've come here, but we haven't got anything from that. But I thought that some of the football we played was superb. I thought we moved the ball well. I thought once we'd adjusted the shape after the first 10, I don't really think they created much. And they've scored the goals when they've gone 4-2-4 and basically put the ball into a big target man. We've reduced them to having to go direct, and it's been effective for them. But I think footballing wise, I thought we were the better side today.
A good experience for the players playing in front of 3,700 people, and for 93 minutes making 3,700 people silent today as well.
Well, not quite silent. There were quite a few giving McNabb some grief from behind me. It's amazing how fickle football fans are. They're absolutely hammering him, and 2 minutes later they've won 4-3 and he's a hero. But it is what football's about. As a player, you should want to come to places like this and play in front of crowds like that. And as you say, silence them. Show them what we're all about.
Could pick out any one of the 11 players really today for some performances, but just to pick out Jordan Butler today, he's outstanding on the ball, but a proper captain's performance as well today.
Yeah, JB's disappointed me a little bit this season. I think there are times when he hasn't really stepped up when he's had the armband on. I think there are times when his overall performance hasn't quite been at the levels we thought. And JB's gone from being last season he sort of established himself in the side this year. I think he's really challenged him to kick on. I had a good chat with him before the game about what I expected from him, and he delivered everything I asked, plus probably another 3 or 4 different things. He was great as a captain. He was clever about how he dictated the tempo of the game and slowed it down. His passing was unreal. There was a few times he was picking things up and spreading it over full-backs' heads, and he just ran the game. I've said a lot. Nicky will be a positive in there. I thought last week when Nicky went off, we lacked a little bit of leadership in the middle of the park, and that was the gauntlet I threw down for JB. And he did everything you would expect. He was superb today, and for me, easily man of the match. And their head of recruitment said exactly the same to me a minute ago.
And how do you pick up the players now? We've got a game next Saturday, City of Liverpool at home. How do you pick the players up for that one?
I think we have to focus on the positives. We've gone toe to toe with a side who are full time. They've got the bench they've got, the squad they've got, and players who aren't even made the 16 today. We've gone toe to toe, and everybody recognises we probably should have won that game. At the very least, get a draw out of it. What we've got to do is make sure at those levels, that work rate, that quality, that desire, that heart, that's got to be the standard, the norm. We can't do it when we come to Macclesfield, but not do that against Skelmersdale. We can't lift it when we go to Workington, but put in a below par performance when we go to Ramsbottom. We've got to get our consistency. We've got to peg it at this level. This is a standard we need to hit week in, week out. They're celebrating like they've won the cup, and they're doing that because they know we're a rival. We've got to believe that. We've got to set our stall out to make sure we're beating the sides down the bottom, and we rightly cement ourselves in that top 5.
Does that give you a lift as well then, knowing how close we've come here? That we've played most of the teams in and around the top now, and we've give everyone a good game. We've dropped teams against lower teams down there. Is that a plus point for you so far this season?
No, it's the opposite. It's a positive that we're now only against the sides of the top. But when I talk about leaving points on the table, and when I go back to the 6 points we've dropped, and draws against sides lower down the table, lost games against sides lower down the table. They're games we have to turn those into draw, the losses into draws, and the draws into wins. That'd put us, we comfortably 8-9 points better off if we'd have done that. We've got to hit this consistent performance, and I know there's a lot of young players in there, but a lot of them can't hide behind that anymore. They're now 50, 60, 70, 80 games at this level. So they need to realise that this is the bar, and this is what we need to hit every week. If we want to go up, if we want to be successful, if we want to get in the playoffs at the end of the year, we've got to do this week in, week out, and we're good enough to do it. We've just got to apply ourselves properly.
And last word today for the travelling fans today. Bit of a hard week for them to try and get hold of tickets in the first place, but they've travelled in numbers and were really good today.
Yeah, it's a great advert for non-league football today. The way that both teams wanted to win the game, some of the quality on display, some of the the work rate, the passion that the players saw, and you want to see fans see that. And it was disappointing Macclesfield. It made it so hard initially for the fans to get tickets and even get here. And then in the first half, seemed to make it difficult for them to enjoy the game, crowding them into a corner of the stand. It was good. Common sense prevailed at some point, and they were allowed to go behind the goal. And they enjoyed the game. They enjoyed the day out. Probably like me, gutted with the final result, but they made a lot of noise, and there were times when they were really out singing the 3,000 home fans. So, as ever, superb. But I think there were a couple of faces I've not seen on some of the away days. Hopefully, that's enough to entice them to come to a few more.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Nathan.